Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to another video. And today what we're going to be doing is talking about Milsim in general, my experiences with Milsim, and Milsim in the future, especially on this channel. So, I've been doing Milsim since, I think it was 2013, that's when I first started doing Milsim. I remember definitely the first game I did it on was Battlefield Bad Company. I think I joined Milsim around 2013 on Bad Company. Bad Company came out in 2010, so 3 years after its release, I was on that doing Milsim with I don't remember the people's names, but they're about 20 guys, 15 guys, not massive. But they really enjoyed Milsim, and that was the first thing that got me into it. I wasn't the leader or anything. I was the kind of as a private, working my way up as a normal member, and that was a really first thing that introduced me to Milsim, other than watching armor videos. And it just built up my curiosity about, because I've never heard this kind of thing before on Battlefield. I never knew this existed on console. I knew it existed on PC, but I didn't have enough money back then to be able to get anything. So I was amazed that this was an actual thing. You could actually do this on console, and there was a community dedicated to it. So that really interested me, but I had no aspects of leading a Milsim then. Obviously because I would say I was too young, and I was very new to it. I probably didn't want to jump the gun too much and try and start up way too quickly. But yeah, I joined Milsim at around 2013. So that was ages ago. That was 7 years ago. So yeah, I would have been like 11. Yeah. Wait. I would have been around 9, 10. I think I was around 10 actually. Coming up towards 10 years old. I actually got into Milsim around then. Not massively invested into it because I was a 10-year-old. I was mainly invested into other things. But I joined one here and there, was able to work my way up in my first Milsim, I remember, to a corporal. Before then I left Milsim, and I didn't do it again until Battlefield 3, almost at the end of Battlefield 3's kind of life cycle. But I'd say my main part of my Milsim kind of experience / career was on Battlefield 4. That's really where Milsim for me kicked off. That was hugely when I massively invested into it, because that's when I became a leader. I've been leading since I think it was 2016, 2015. For I would say a good 4 or 5 years, maybe a little bit longer than that. I've been leading Milsims, making loads of different kinds of Milsims, testing different things out, and just enjoying it really. Meeting a lot of interesting people along the way, which I'll get onto in a minute. But that's what I've been doing. Then going to BF1, which was personally, in my opinion, a great Milsim game. People really did brush over that as being good for Milsim. And then recently Battlefield 5. So with BF4, that was really the kicker for me on getting into leadership. Someone suggested that I should make my own, and I ended up doing it. It wasn't the best, it was pretty bad. I didn't really know what I was doing. I tried to look for others to help, but in the Battlefield 4 Milsim community, everyone was really looking out for themselves. No one really helped smaller Milsims so much. It was really just kind of everyone just trying to fight everyone. There wasn't really alliances from what I saw, and if there were, they didn't last long. But no one really helped out each other, so that was interesting. So I was really just left by my lonesome to be able to try and build this up with something I've never done before, which I feel made it a lot better, because now I find it a lot easier to do things on my own than having to have people who actually help me within the community. My Milsim currently is totally self-reliant, and I can be self-reliant within the community, so I think that really did help build my kind of character within the Milsim community. And it also made me want to help newer units that are coming in, which I'm currently doing in my community now. Newer units coming in, giving them recruits, helping them, giving as much advice as I can, making stuff for them, possibly making recruitment videos for them and stuff like that, working with them to try and get them into Milsim, and try and get them interested in it, and just help them have a good experience overall. So the kind of people that you usually meet in Milsim, I would say overall everyone is really normal, but you do get like within Milsim, like a lot of leaders, and I would say at times myself, when you're given a position of authority within a unit or any kind of position of authority in life, you are gonna have at times feelings of just general superiority to anyone that is inferior to your current position, whether that be on what is it like PlayStation, in a clan, in a team, in real life, a football team, rugby team, soccer, that would be for you Americans, soccer team, baseball, anything, even in your place of work, that would happen. It happens. It's a natural thing, and you feel superior, but overall you got to find a way as a leader to be able to try and balance that out. Now within the community as well, it's interesting because you can't win, especially as a leader. You can't win really in any situation. Say if you win a war, you don't actually win that war, because at the end of that war you're just gonna have extra hate towards you, extra hate towards your members. Those people will go, if that Milsim disbands, into other units and spread false stuff, because a lot of what people make up is just lies. That does happen a lot. People make up false information, then when you call them out on it, they admit to it being false information, but by then it's too late. It's an interesting kind of thing that people do. I don't know why they do it, but it's done. But people just you get loads of different kind of interesting people within the community, but not everyone is bad. But there are repercussions to practically everything you can do. You can't really win in Milsim overall. You can just really outlive other Milsims and try and build up something, which is what I'm currently doing now, which I'll get into in a minute. But yeah, it's interesting because if you kick someone from your Milsim, they'll hate you. If someone leaves your unit, they will have their own opinion, which can also build up upon someone else's opinion. Say if they left and they both come together and then they both have negative opinions of your unit, that will make a massive negative opinion. Because usually people look at the negatives and the positives. That's what everyone does in anything. So it's an interesting situation with the Milsim of what people do and how people interact. There are loads of different characters within Milsim as well. One that I would mainly stands out to me is Scouser Who Dares, or the leader of Lion's Den. Back on Battlefield 4, quite a while ago, he was just weird. He was, if you know Scouser, you know what I mean. He was just a weirdo. He basically forced people to call him a god, made them bow down to him in a video game, made them read the Bible, and he had his top officers, their rank were like archangels and stuff like that. I was fortunate enough to have a conversation with him, and it was quite interesting to see his mentality. It's pretty, like, it's weird, but I hate that he kind of lets off an example for Milsims that we're all sad. I personally don't see Milsim as sad. I see it as a way to be able to interactively be able to meet a group of people and just enjoy a video game in a different kind of style, but also to be able to, those that are interested in history, to all be in one community and talk about it together. But obviously everybody has they're entitled to their own opinions of Milsim, authentic gameplay, but personally, this is how I like to play the game. This is how I like to, these are the kind of people I like to be around. And no one's going to really stop me from doing that, or anybody else from doing that, and you shouldn't feel like you can be stopped from doing that. Other people's opinions shouldn't really hinder you unless they are false, and then you need to try and prove that they are false, because I believe in that, and I believe that's important to be able to stop people from lying. But other people's opinions of you shouldn't do that because it's sad, that shouldn't stop you. Do whatever you want. But yeah, so that's really within Milsim. You get loads of different kinds of characters, and it's interesting because you kind of build your own character. It's a bit like a live RPG game in a way. It's like there's loads of different factions, loads of different people, loads of different types of people, how they interact with each other, different kinds of personalities and things like that. And you just go through this kind of world, in quotations, and your experiences differs because there's so many different kinds of people that come into the Milsim community, so many different kinds of ideas they bring to it, mentalities, experiences, that can really build up upon and change the community. And it's a great thing personally to be a part of. Even if you dislike someone, their opinion could really come in and sway the community. And it's important at the end of the day, you are all one community, yes. You're all trying to obviously build yourselves up and everything and work to do Milsim. But, you know, you gotta have a certain point of not, you know, being too bad on each other and making up false information, which does happen a lot, especially on Battlefield 5 Milsim. False information like that and trying to just basically spread propaganda, which is an interesting thing with the Milsim, which is people do, and they do it effectively, and they don't particularly, a lot of people understand or even ask the authenticity of that. They just accept it as fact. Like in real day life with social media, people just don't read the article, they read the headline and they believe it. So yeah. So currently with my Milsim, I'm fortunate to have a big Milsim. I'm fortunate to have a lot of members within my unit and that are well disciplined, mature, and really eager to actually develop not only my Milsim but develop our community that we've made and help these other communities grow and give them advice and nurture them into becoming something great and building Battlefield Milsim community into something huge, hopefully, which is what I'll get onto for future Battlefields. But my Milsim so far has been really successful for a few key reasons, I would say. The first one is we have a massive recruitment drive. We strive to get loads of people within the unit. Some Milsims don't like recruiting so much. They like to have smaller numbers. I personally like to have larger numbers. Just for the fact that it's more reliable, that you're going to have loads of people on, and it gives the aspect of actually being a large unit within the military, more so than having like 5 or 10 or 15 guys. But that's just my opinion on how I like my unit to be done. But so far it's been successful, especially with the YouTube channel as well, being able to put out videos of what we do and try and raise awareness for the community. And I just enjoy putting them out anyway and just letting people see what we do and what Milsim really is. But yeah, I think that it will be great if the community does build up, and the community I'm working on, which is so far being incredibly successful, build up and be a huge thing on the next Battlefield games. So with the possibility of the next Battlefield being modern day, I think that will be absolutely perfect for Milsim. I personally wanted it kind of to be Vietnam, but I'm happy with it also being modern day. Those two things I'm happy with. I wouldn't care either way of which it went. So I'm happy that it's modern day. I think that'll be great for Milsim. They just need to get it right this time. They need to have it very, very well done and polished off straight from the start. Community game, straight from the start. Preferably free, like on Battlefield. I think they owe us that. As well as multiple other kinds of key aspects and new things. From the rumors I've been hearing, it could be one of the best Battlefield games on Milsim as well, but I won't go into those because I don't know if they're true and I don't want to be giving false information. But the next Battlefields are gonna be, and the lead up from Battlefield 5 with my community, what we're trying to do, is gonna be critical for how I stay in Milsim, how my Milsim stays around, and I would say how Milsim overall really goes. If the next Battlefield is like BF5, and BF5 is a great game, you know, it's a great game for Milsim, kind of. There's a good Milsim community on here, but if the next Battlefield is like trash and just a complete just garbage, like BF5 was, with pub matches and people leaving and there's not a lot of recruits to be able to recruit from, and it's just not sustainable, the gameplay isn't good, the lack of content and things like that, I don't think Milsim will live. I think there might be 1 or 2, maybe 3, a very small one, smaller than we have on here, but I don't think it will live. So the next Battlefields are critical into keeping the overall community alive. Now, with the upcoming Battlefields as well, I'll most definitely be making Milsim content on that. That will definitely be coming if it is a success. But with PC Milsim, now I will be getting a PC soon. Well, no, I already have a PC, but it's currently in repairs. But it should be back soon. Should be fully fixed, ready to go. And when I do get PC games, I will be rather joining a PC Milsim, which I probably will end up doing. From there, getting a little bit of experience, seeing what it's like, and then probably making my own. I'll be on Squad, Postscriptum, and probably Hell Let Loose. And from there, I'll look at other areas, maybe Holdfast, possibly, and War of Rights. I'm quite interested in as well. But yeah, PC Milsim and just PC gameplay of World War II games in general will most definitely be coming to the channel as soon as my PC is fixed. That will be coming up soon. But anyway, guys, that is it for today overall with the discussion about Milsim. If you have any questions about myself, my Milsim kind of career in quotations or experiences, or you want to give your own Milsim experience and tell your own Milsim story and what you've done throughout Milsim, or any kind of input into this, then please do leave it down in the comments. It'll be interesting to see that. Hopefully we can keep everything positive. I hope that you do, if you are new to this, get into Milsim. If you're new to the channel, smash that like button and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one.